Right, distinguished guests, coaches, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and a warm welcome, especially to our speakers and our guests from overseas. Warm welcome to you in Singapore. I'm happy to join you this morning. So glad to have the opportunity to speak to you. In fact, I asked to be invited to speak here because as coaches, you are one of the most important stakeholders for MCCY. Our social mission in MCCY is to build a confident nation, a cohesive society, and a caring people. My colleagues and I feel a deep sense of purpose as our work lies at the heart of building a nation that progresses together, stays united in the face of uncertainty, fear, and volatility. And there's a lot of volatility out there, as we know. Economic transformation that we are going through, terrorism, religious extremism, technological disruption that's changing our lives, and online falsehoods that are constantly bugging us. These are just some of the issues that are constantly pulling at our social fabric, constantly potentially tearing people apart. And how do we build new ties, strengthen existing ones with all Singaporeans so that we can stand together closely and weather the storms ahead with confidence? We see an opportunity in sports to support our mission. And how can we build a confident nation through sports? When Joseph Schooling won the 100-meter men's butterfly final at the Rio Olympics, he gave the nation the confidence that it is possible for a Singaporean to achieve an Olympic gold. Beyond swimmers and young athletes, Joseph has inspired many of us by his act to be bold and chase our dreams. When Jason Chi punched his fist in the air after winning the gold at 2017 ASEAN Para Games, he inspired us with his fighting spirit to never give up and to overcome hardships and obstacles in life. Joseph, Jason, and all our Team Singapore athletes are role models of powerful values such as determination, courage, discipline, teamwork, and perseverance. These are the values that we want, not just in our athletes, but in every one of our youths as we educate and prepare them for the future. Our youth will need to work hard, work together, to battle obstacles, to overcome obstacles, to pursue excellence and achieve their dreams. I'm glad that MOE has plans to make our education more balanced and more holistic. They are working closely with us in MCCY to do this through sports, along with the arts and outdoor adventure learning. Beyond the golden moments at the Olympics, when you feel a deep sense of national pride, when Majula Singapura was played, a confident nation is built from our shared experience that remind us that Singaporeans can achieve the extraordinary. This is where coaches come in, every single one of you. You played an important role in developing individuals, ranging from participants in recreational sports to high-performance athletes. The government invests about $70 million each year in the high-performance sports system that supports our Team Singapore athletes and the development of our national sports associations. You are a critical part of this HPS system, the high performance sports system. The field of sports science is advancing quickly, from sports analytics to nutrition and rest. We will need to continually upskill ourselves to close the gap and enable our athletes to perform at the highest level. We owe it to our athletes to do so. How can sports build a cohesive society? Sports has the ability to bring together people from all walks of life. It is a natural setting for us to make friends and build relationships, looking past whatever differences we may have. In my constituency's football academy, young children of different races, different backgrounds, come together to play every Sunday. And their parents also form teams to play football. And through sports, we build new relationships and diversify our social network. Sports is also an alternative pathway for many young people to find success. It is a great social leveler. Through sports, children from humble backgrounds have more opportunities to succeed in life. Some of them benefit economically through careers in sport, while many others benefit from the values they learn through sports. To ensure that talented young athletes have access to an affordable and quality environment to pursue, to pursue their sporting and academic aspirations, we set up the Singapore Sports School in 2004. It has been heartening to see our youth developing their potential while learning values such as discipline, perseverance, teamwork, and the importance of giving back to society. And many who study in our sports schools are from humble family background. And finally, for a caring people, we must be inclusive to people of all abilities. Sports provides an additional platform for our fellow Singaporeans with disabilities or special needs to participate in our society and for the community to engage and support them. Our paracyclist, Emily Tan, brought home 1 gold, 3 silver and 1 bronze medals from the Kuala Lumpur Asian Para Games 2017 and 1 bronze medal from the recent Jakarta Asian Para Games 2018 in tandem with the full-sighted cyclist Sarah Tan. The full-sighted cyclists who train with the para-athletes are Team Singapore athletes with their own training loads already, and yet they spend time training regularly with their fellow para-athletes. The coach for the paracyclist team is Christian Stoffer. Many athletes in the team were personally scouted by him. He has been training the team pro bono several times a week for the last 5 years. And I was very happy to see him in a recent event organized by the Singapore Association of the Visually Handicapped. And what was he doing there? Scouting. Brought up bikes, put on the uniform, had a few athletes, and scouting again. He's always looking for that person that could join his team, that could be exposed to the sports and could benefit personally and psychologically from the sports. Through the promotion and development of disability sports, we can see the best of human nature in full display. Empathy, care, tenacity, motivation, kindness, selflessness. Is Singapore better off because of this? Most definitely. This leads me to the role that coaches play. What you do is much more than teaching the technicalities of the sport. It is more than the physical aspects of the sport. It is more than the performance on the court, on the field, or in the competition. It is more than winning the medal or the game. It is a lot more than sport itself. It is about the values you impart, the character of the athletes that you mold, and the dreams that you help achieve. Every one of you has to play a part in building this confident nation, this cohesive society, and the caring Singapore. To be better at coaching, you need to constantly learn new skills, refine your techniques, and stay ahead of the game. This year's conference theme, Coaching Better Every Day, is precisely that. SportSG has been providing opportunities and resources through CoachSG to help you develop professionally. You will be familiar with the Continuing Coach Education Program, or CCE, which supports coaches in upgrading themselves continually to maintain high coaching standards. The CCE has expanded in content and reach over the years. In the past year alone, more than 2,700 coaches have participated in 90 workshops. Coach Beatrice Chan conducted a workshop on International Table Tennis Federation's rules and regulations to 20 fellow table tennis coaches. Coach Condre Liu conducted workshops for over 40 swimming coaches and course facilitators for the recently launched SG Coach Integrated Program Swimming Level 1. And if financial support is needed, CoachSG has a coach development grant to help coaches develop their skills in areas like disability sports and youth sports. One of the grant recipients is Danny Ong, who specializes in coaching swimmers with special needs. The grant helped to support his further development under the International Paralympic Committee Academy Educator Program, as well as other swimming programs for persons with special needs. Beatrice, Condre, and Danny illustrate how the coaching fraternity have been sharing their knowledge and experiences as a community of practice. We look forward to supporting more coaches in their journey of lifelong learning. I would like to touch on the topic of safe sports next. I'm sure we have taken note of the sexual transgressions committed by Team Dr. Larry Nassar in the US gymnastics. Nassar had repeated his abuse for over 20 years before the law caught up with him, even as the initial complaint against him came as early as 1997. In Singapore, the SNOC, CoachSG, and 59 of our NSAs have joined forces to lead the charge for safe sport in Singapore, starting with their joint statement in April this year. And in their words, I quote, "Harassment of any nature, especially sexual misconduct, in sport is never acceptable," unquote. Thousands of our coaches have attended CoachSG's values and principles in sport workshop and pledged their commitment to the coach's code of ethics. CoachSG has been working with the NSA to articulate what it means to practice safe sports, including appointing safeguarding officers to coordinate safe sport efforts. Other initiatives are expected to follow. CoachSG will be partnering the Ministry of Social and Family Development, Singapore Police Force, and Ministry of Education to form the Safe Sport Commission in 2019. The Commission will develop guidelines to help the sports fraternity have a better understanding of best practices and establish a reporting process for abuse. I want to emphasize that at the heart of the issue, everyone, coaches, teachers, parents, officials, even the athlete themselves, has a part to play in safe sport. All of us first have to be vigilant and pay attention to what's happening around us in training and during competitions. If we see or sense something amiss, we need to raise this with the appropriate authorities. And second, we need to ensure a safe space for those affected to share their concerns without fear or discrimination. Everyone in the fraternity has a responsibility. Everyone has a responsibility in ensuring a safe environment in sports. Why? Because the public has placed their trust upon us to be the coaches of their charges. So I think we owe it to the public to uphold the public trust that has been emplaced on us. Each and every one of you touches the life of someone else through sport. Whether you're opening the doors to sports for the young ones, molding characters through team sports in schools, or developing the next generation of sports stars, you are in the privileged position to influence, to motivate, and to nurture. The coaching fraternity is a key pillar in our Sports Vision 2030 Master Plan. As we scale the next peak together as one Team Singapore, we call on you to support CoachSG by coaching better every day and upholding a high standard of professionalism. Let me end with a quote by American youth motivational speaker Josh Shipp. Every child is one caring adult away from being a success story. May you be that caring adult who will nurture our next generation of successful athletes. Thank you very much.